It should be Jackie.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Okay.
Did you hear my correction?
No.
It says Summer Campbell and Debbie Gerba were present. Jackie.
With that exception.
Okay. So a motion's been made by Commissioner Wright for corrections.
Second.
Second's been made by Commissioner Head. Any other discussion on the minutes? All those in favor of approving the minutes, November the 14th, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 3, ordinance to individuals. I think we have some people here, but they'll be speaking when our agenda item comes up. Okay. Number 4, consider an act on approving accounts payable. Commissioner, go through your accounts payables.
I don't know the exact, yeah, line change, no place.
Yes, sir. We did it this morning.
The only other question that I have, I guess it's just the way they get with all of the end of the care expenses. Bunch of them.
I mean, I can't control when inmates need medical care, so it comes when it comes.
Make a motion to approve the accounts payable.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Wright to approve the accounts payables. Second's been made by Commissioner Parton. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving the accounts payables, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Accounts payables are approved. Okay, number 5, consider act on the burn ban. Commissioners, as you realized last week, we did lift it. There's had some rain. The outlook is going to be dry for a little bit. I consulted with our 4 fire chiefs. David Swartz, George King were in favor of putting the burn ban on immediately. Kevin Hortz would like to see it off for a little bit longer. Ed Sanders was, when I told him our next commission court meeting is going to be December the 9th, he's more in favor of putting it back on. So that's the report from our fire chief saying, I wish we had rain coming, but there's really not much of a chance next few weeks. We got some dry northers coming. So y'all got any comments? I'm in favor with the Thanksgiving holidays and everything and putting it back on. Tell you how I feel about it. Just our volunteer fire departments, we got 4 great volunteer fire departments with many, many people working. And I just hate them having to go out on Thanksgiving for fires and stuff. Somebody burning something. But
It's still plenty dry.
yeah, it's still pretty dry. And again, I think the northern part of the county got the majority of the rain. Commissioner Ryan, I think you're in south fairly dry, isn't it?
It is.
And I was amazed in Brazos County and those counties down there, they're on the burn ban right now. In fact, they can't have the bonfire right now down there because of the burn ban. So.
Make a motion to approve.
Mention Hamilton, many people down there.
Yes, we put another.
Mention Hamilton, I don't think they are on a burn ban, are they?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, we gave him brief when that burned, it wasn't very long.
I did burn my sack Sunday morning, so I got mine burned. Well, I'll make a motion to approve the burn ban, put it back on.
I already made a motion.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't need much time.
I'll second it for him. Mike made a motion.
I'd already made it.
Motion already. Okay, I missed that. Sorry, my ears stopped up.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm having trouble too.
Burn ban back on, second by Commissioner Wright. I mean,
Head.
about your head, sorry. Any other discussion? Okay, those in favor of putting the burn ban back on, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. The burn ban will be put back on as of today, and I will sign the order after Commissioner's Court. Okay, number 6, consider an act on corrected plat for Rolling Oak subdivision. In presence today, we have Mr. Doug Moresco. Doug, good morning. Doug, I don't know what your official title is. You're kind of the general consultant, operator. Every
He's a developer.
He's the developer, everything world in this subdivision for Rolling Oaks. And we appreciate everything you've done. I know you've worked with Commissioner Ryan on all these roads and stuff and done a good job. And Commissioners, we got several packages that Doug brought to my office last week. So I think we've already got those.
Yeah, the only difference is you see that where it says at the bottom, this is existing. Where it says 95%, this is signed and sealed. So
Sure, you want to do, yes.
this is like a lipstick.
Okay.
So.
When
Before you start, Doug, I've been in consultation, of course, with County Attorney Hale and also Don King. And Don King had told me last week that everything looked fine. He said, go ahead and, it's good with him. County Attorney Hale kind of said the same thing. It's good with Don, it's good with him. And, Don King never got back to me with any issues whatsoever, so.
Right.
I think Thursday when I talked to him, Wednesday or Thursday.
You know, the only thing is, it's like what we talked about earlier, is maybe getting the bill from, you know.
Yes.
I'll just come pay you in your office. And then you can bring it up in December that we did pay him at court.
Commissioners, I believe assuming we approve this, then he's got to pay his preliminary plat fee to the county clerk's office, correct? After we approve it, then it goes to you or your office.
Go ahead.
So there's a couple of questions I have.
Yeah.
Is this a variance request or just a corrected plat?
Gerald, would you call it a corrected plat or a variance?
It's in compliance. It is not a variance request.
Okay.
It's a
Corrected plat.
it's a corrected plat.
Right. So what started it was the calls on the creek is what got brought to Don's attention. And so what that is, where we understand that is the variance in distance. It's in the center of the creek, which was a blessing to us in disguise, is to correct that. And then in turn, we could correct like where we came in on 183 and we had 100 by 100 common area there, but we couldn't make the swing. And so we got to correct that one lot and all one full sweep.
Yes.
The road and everything with Don's permission, the attorney, so. It's
Okay.
not, we went into one full sweep, and then on County Road 429, we put in some secondary entrances just in case they lost power. Or just some emergency or whatever they could get out.
Okay.
I don't know, you know, electric gates.
And for the record, originally there's 3 tracks, roughly, what, 88 acres was it?
It's 83 and some change.
And so what has happened now for the court and the record is now 8 tracks, roughly around 10 acres. And so.
10, yeah, just a little over, just,
And it was both.
right.
Okay.
And these are they'll still go on the existing water system from water.
Yes, sir.
Has the water system been good? A little bit
Yes,
of
sir.
water
It's
system?
not even that we, you know, they over engineered that, which they always do.
Uh-huh.
And the plant's still running, but not even near full capacity yet. So I think when they over engineered that there's like over 150 connections over what we have already installed.
Okay.
So there's some growth out there, you know, still.
For the court's information too, like I say, I've worked with Doug, he's been awful good, and everything he's done to join the county's been more than we asked for. He's hauled a lot of material for the county also on our county roads, so I don't have a problem with any of it. And the water system itself, like I say, it's up and working, so.
I've been out there before and it's well done. I was impressed with everything y'all did out there.
And likewise, it's been a pleasure working with y'all as well.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Doug? Well, I'll make a motion that we approve the corrected plat for Rolling Oak subdivision.
I'll second it.
Who seconded?
Mike,
Mike? Okay, motion's been made, a second's been made by Commissioner Wright. Any other discussion? Any other comments, Doug, or anything? And again, after we approve this, you go pay your.
I'll go down.
Okay, all those in favor of approving the corrected plat for Rolling Oak subdivision, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Yes, ma'am.
I did.
Thank you.
Okay, is that it? You got something? Something?
Okay, I'll do
Doug, thank you, bud. Appreciate it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, have a good day. Okay, moving on, number 7, consider an act on appointment of Brandon Greavy and Jed Guerin, another term on the MCAD board. And Hannah, if you want to come up, I know we're gonna hear me discussing this next deal. Good morning, Hannah, how are you? So, I know these two gentlemen quite well, as does the court, and, they both have been serving on the Mills County Appraisal, board, and they both are up for, their term is up, and they both have agreed to represent Mills County to another term. Brandon Greavy and Jed Garrett.
Yes.
I believe I'm correct on all that. Anything you need to add or anything to that? Well, they've done a good job. I appreciate their service to the county.
Yes, that's correct.
And, any other questions, commissioners, on these two individuals? I'll make a motion to approve Brandon Greavy and Jed Guerin for another term on the MCAD board.
Second.
I made the motion, second by Commissioner Head. All those in favor of approving Brandon and Jed for another term on the MCAD board, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 8, consider an act on the MCAD budget. And, Ms. Hannah, we got a deal in from board president late last night, which we gave to all of the commissioners this morning. I don't know if they all had a chance to look at it. Just kind of giving bullet points of what all's been going on, which is a good chronological, reflection of everything. And I'll turn it over to you.
So basically gonna summarize what he sent to you. It pretty much,
There's an increase in our budget, we're proposing an increase in budget, strictly due to being competitive in salaries to be fully staffed. In order for an appraisal district to function, you have to have somebody on staff that has their RPA. I will have my RPA come August of next year. But so we have to keep our interim chief on the salary on payable. So it's causing, and we've got 2 applicants for the ag appraiser. So just due to having those 3, well, and plus our additional 2 ladies in the office, we've had to increase the budget to cover all of the salaries.
Yes.
to be fully staffed.
Well, it sounds like you're on the track, to try to get some employees and everything going.
Yes, yes, we have 2 really good applicants for our ag appraiser. So we obviously don't want to reach out to either one of them yet until we're funded. for the
Yes.
position.
Okay, commissioners, any questions for Ms. Hannah?
Yeah, I thought the 66,000 was by the county and that. I thought the 66,000 was by the county and that.
No, so it's gonna be for, what it really boils down to is that's gonna break down the salary for the ag appraiser, and plus their benefits package. Insurance is expensive and, with their retirement, social security. The budget does include having the, appraisal service in there, but the increase is to keep us fully
I
staffed.
thought those positions were already in the budget.
So like I said, we have to keep, Lori, the interim chief on, so the consulting fee to keep her on until I have my RPA, that's what's causing the major increase. Because we've got to keep her on salary, and then there's 4 positions in the office, so in order to keep the 4 positions plus her, that's why we're coming up with this increase.
And you said earlier, you think you'll get your, requirements done by August, hopefully?
I should have my RPA by August of next year. Since we do collect in that office, I'll need to get my RTA. And that'll come after that, but it's not as big of a lengthy process as it is to get your RPA.
Have y'all had y'all generally already done?
Yes, we just got that back, Friday of last week, so we're still going through that, to see where, what, left over.
And how much excess funding did each have?
I'm gonna be honest, that it was very difficult for me to read, so that's where the interim chief, her knowledge is gonna come into play. But it does, I think, from what I can tell, it does look like there is some excess funds. But I don't know exactly how much yet.
The reason I bring this up, Jason ain't here, Mike might remember. One year they wanted to finish paying for the building. And since I've been, we let them keep the excess funding and finish paying for the building. Another year they needed a new pickup truck. They let them keep it, so I think personally, we need to see what you got.
I agree.
That I mean, and you don't really, yourself included, and it pretty well states it here, there's been a huge turnover. For a long, ever since, Bo Wright. But, we don't know that these people, when you get funding, we don't know that people are gonna be. Or
Right, and that's why we want to be competitive on our salaries so that it's more likely to stay.
sometimes will, sometimes you won't. I think the original budget that they proposed, and I know there's so much people happy, we didn't even approve the original. So that's.
When is your budget run?
It's December, January to January.
January? Okay,
It starts January 1st, ends December 31st.
okay. So even if we had to, we would not go with just something. We had to.
Yeah, how do we change when our budget's already in place? We,
Well, no, that's what I was saying, when we get ready to do our new budget, if we had to, we can adjust something if we had to.
yes, but our budget's already in place.
So,
Yeah, you're not gonna run out of money by August.
right. How many people approved your last budget anyway?
So as of now, there are 4 entities that pay into our budget, the 3 ISDs have already approved the budget, so we're just waiting. for vote from commissioners.
All right, commissioners, any other questions? Ms. Hannah? Does anyone make a motion to approve the MCAD budget? Hearing no motions. Fails. But Hannah, appreciate you coming up and everything.
Anytime, if y'all have any questions.
Yeah, we will. We want to keep working with you. I know you're trying to do a good job and wish you the best of luck on everything. So it's, as you know, very important, and we got lots of new people moving in the county, new buildings, et cetera. So very important job that y'all do. Okay, any other questions? All right, Hannah, thanks for coming. That motion fails. Number 9, consider applicants for Mills County Historical Commission. We have. Yes.
That statutorily, that needs to be done in the first meeting, okay? So it's premature.
I read where it said owner before that time. I talked to Lynetta about that, and anyway, we can do whatever you want to do.
I think it needs to wait for January,
Okay. We will wait till January then on your,
probably.
okay, we will wait till January. So we'll table then.
Need a motion to table.
We need to make a motion for that too.
Yeah,
I'll make a motion, we table the number 9.
okay. Motion's been made by Commissioner Wright to table the applicants from Mills County Historical Commission till January. I'll second that motion. Any other discussion?
First meeting in January.
Okay, all right. Sorry, folks, someone forgot to silence their phone. Motion's been made, I made the second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. We're gonna table that until January. Number 10, I'll call Sheriff Bull and the Chief Deputy Jones come up, discuss security cameras, the law enforcement center. So I'll prep this up, Dale came in my office a week or so ago, told me there were numerous issues with the cameras. Recording at the law enforcement center, of course, as you all know, we've just got started our new budget cycle. And the question that, I posed y'all, well, we're gonna work with all we can, but how much is it, where's the money gonna come from, et cetera. We got some money in technology and equipment, but, why don't you go ahead and prep the report on everything y'all told me, go from there.
So, some terminologies that we're learning as we were making our way forward in jail this end of life. And I'm sure you've heard that before, so that's kind of where we found ourselves with the camera system in the jail. So what was there, what is there is at its end of life, and we talk about its capability. So as I was coming on, I remember that there was some cameras put in there, and y'all probably remember that circumstance as well. That went in a way that probably wasn't the best for the county, so we decided to handle that a little differently. So instead of doing something without the commissioner's knowledge, we decided to bring this issue to the commissioner's court. So this camera replacement that happened last year was the beginning of the entire camera replacement that will need to take place. So the only thing that we're telling you today is that we are looking into it. So the DVR system that works with these cameras, that record the information that these cameras see, is failing. There's numerous DVRs that record the information from these cameras. 2 of those have already failed. Number 3 is going that direction. So it's not a circumstance of can we replace the DVRs on a system that is at the end of its life cycle. So what it will amount to is we'll be looking at what it costs. Let me say it that way. We'll be looking at what it costs to replace this camera system. We'll no longer store this information on DVRs. It will be stored on cloud, just like we're used to hearing about these days. So at this point, basically what we're doing is looking at what is it going to cost to replace these cameras and that evidence recording system.
Let me stop. When we say cameras, you're talking more just the DVR, is the cameras too?
Yeah.
Cameras and.
Cameras as well. Okay. Yes, sir. So thank you for pointing that out. So initially, when I spoke to Amanda about this, she's the one who brought this information to me. What she's had to do, let me tell you the current circumstance at the jail. With the failure of these 2 DVRs that we have there now, she's had to reroute those cameras from those DVRs to the other DVRs. So now those are doing more work than what they were initially proposed to do. So that's the patch that we've gone through to keep this system alive until we can arrive at what is a fix. So we're in the process of that bid circumstance where we have gone to several different companies so we can determine what is the best system to replace this, what is the cost of that system, and then certainly we will be standing here like we are now. How do we want to go forward with that system? So back to the system that the previous sheriff had some cameras installed. That company is in this bid process as well, looking to use or combine with what had already been replaced. Okay.
And I would recommend we need to get Goldsmith involved too.
Absolutely.
Whatever you're looking at.
Certainly, they will be the IT component of whatever they.
Last time we did that, it was like $400,000 to $800,000.
So I don't know exactly, and you're right.
Yeah.
Commissioner Head, that was a rather expensive from those that I, so the research I had an opportunity to do that is expensive. So we'll look to several different companies along with the one that has 10 of those cameras in there. And when we think of just a camera system, there's a little bit more than that, which is what leads to some of the expense. So as different doors are unlocked in that jail, as the jailers do what they do, the things that happen back there, that information is recorded. Each time one of those doors is silent. Each time it's unlocked for whatever reason, that information is recorded. So it becomes quite complex for what that system does, other than just look in the hallways and cells and things of that nature in that jail. So as we go forward, I just wanted to get up here today and tell you where we currently stand, and that we are looking into this. And then as we get those reports, then certainly I'll be back again to tell you what we're up against.
So again, or is it, what percent of cameras you think you're looking at possibly replacing? I know with the DVR, you gotta replace that, go into an iCloud store, but what about the cameras you talking about?
Don't know that number, Judge. Jail administrator wasn't in this morning. I intended to have her up there. She knows how many cameras are there, what she's had to do, how many are giving us trouble and things of that nature. If I remember, it seemed like there was about 32 of them. Not probably.
I think that's the wrong.
But not too long ago, we passed a procurement policy. And so that needs to be followed. It's just local government code. So you can research this, but you actually need to set it out for bids, which means you're gonna have to set an RFP. What are you asking for? And then which Goldsmith usually helps with, and then they have to send in a bid to Jet.
So basically, all today is to let you know that what circumstance the reporting system is in which, and if we will add those years, once or something to look at to consider what is the best path forward.
Okay.
How do you rank with jail standards right now? How's that working out with all the cameras? If you're having problems with them?
So fortunately, jail standards doesn't require the recording. To the best of my knowledge, they don't require that we be able to record that information. They just require that we be able to look and see what's going on in those.
How often do they inspect once a year?
Actually, there's not a number, so, I mean, you could get once a year, you could get 2 or 3 times, it just depends on what jail standard is looking at. If they come in, and we just recently had, when you remember hearing about that, and if they see that things are in order, they may not for a while. If they see that things are not in order, then they
Come back.
see if we're getting things. But when we think about the camera system, the reporting aspect of it, it's not a jail standard.
They,
With the cameras, it just takes less employees. That's kind of the main function of the camera.
it's the security deal. It's just kind of covering the backside. I think it was recorded.
The security part, plus it's also the liability part. It's just as a recording, we have that those incidents on camera and recorded to show a different picture of what happened versus what they're saying. right?
So we've had a couple of circumstances, we have a fight in the jail, right, and the jailers have to intercede in that, so certainly that's one of those circumstances, if you want to have that camera recorded, other than just looking at that circumstance, because could there be litigation from that?
I would think, because I think it's probably pretty vivid in our memory, how much it was gonna cost to replace the camera system a year over there. You may possibly, and I know nobody likes to fight, but through this budget cycle, you may have to pass this.
I would not be surprised. But that's what I say, that is entirely why I'm here standing in front.
Sure.
And
When you know,
I don't remember if that was there in here, and we were looking from 400,000 up to a
Yes.
million.
For both courthouse and the courthouse.
Yeah, but I think the courthouse was only like 50,000 up.
57,000 or so, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think,
Get your figures.
I think we also learned some things in the courthouse, circumstance where that bid was somewhat high, and we actually ended up working with something that was much less than that. So we're just,
Yeah, the cameras that were replaced out there, which I think there was 10, I'm not sure. They did some lining. The cameras that were replaced didn't even come up to the bid. Yeah. I mean, it's something to look into, but we may have to get a little ingenious through this budget cycle.
Right. And part of the problem is that those 2 DVRs that are dead, you only have the one working, we had to unplug a bunch of cameras. And plug in the ones that are critical. Right, and pretty much just what's in the jail. So the rest of the building. Yeah, you know. That's where we're at, so.
But do the dispatchers are always gonna have things going on, you know. Both, so you still do have that requirement of what.
So if there was a fire or a circumstance like that, yes, you would have body cam footage. If something happened in the sale before the jailer got there. Different.
The body cams go through the same system as other cameras in the long separate system.
I guess it depends on how physical the separation is, no matter how good your body cam shows up, ain't it?
Sure. Yeah, and as Summer mentioned, yeah, when you go through the RPP procurement process, so. Well, keep us posted. I know you'll keep us posted at Commissioner Court, so we'll hope for the best.
Appreciate
Any
that.
questions, Commissioners?
No, I just appreciate them, job y'all doing and bringing stuff to the court now.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
No, in the future, there'll be full transparency.
Appreciate it.
We're not gonna get time to do that, so. As we go forward, we'll bring that information.
I know y'all been very good. Letting me know anything going on all the time, so appreciate it.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good day.
Yes.
Thank you. Number 11, discuss the county attorney supplement money that's not been received. So Treasurer Campbell brought my attention last week or the week before that we had not received the latest supplement for the county attorney. I contacted a lady named Joanne from the controller's office last week, and she told me this last payment is in transit. She said it's supposed to be coming late this last week. I don't think we've received it yet, but it's supposed to be on the way. So
Checks in the mail.
checks in the mail. So I will continue to look into that and hopefully we can get to that supplement, County Attorney Hill. So
Is that for this year or last year?
is last year.
Not received last
Last
year.
See, last year.
We received one total summer September of 23, which is the previous year. Yeah. Yeah, but this is for the budget for last year.
23.
24. So anyway, I'll reach out.
We either need to get it or we're gonna have to get Gerald before December.
So anything else, Ms. Summer, I need to mention on that? Okay, moving on, number 12, consider and act on updated Mills County subdivision regulations. Commissioners, in your package, you see, we had a workshop, what, a month and a half ago, whatever it was. And at the workshop, the 4 commissioners, me, County Attorney Hale, and Don King, surveyor. And as we've said before, these county subdivision rules and regulations are always evolving, changes have to be made. And Gerald, I'll turn this over to you. I know Don had contacted you last week about a few minor things that need to be changed. So if you want to take over?
Yeah, I'll, y'all recall, we had the workshop in here, Mr. King was here. And we went over various things. Number one, the last legislative session, legislature added a new provision that basically says, the county commissioner's court doesn't have the authority to do anything that's regulated. It's not expressly provided in the statute, which took away a lot of the discretion that commissioners had prior to that. But anyway, we've gone through and we've talked about all this stuff before. If anybody has any particular questions, I'll try to answer them. But basically what we did, there's some exemptions in there of when subdivision approval is not required. Those exemptions are all statutory. And they're subject to change at the will of the legislature. And if we put it in our regulations, the same exemptions, then we have to change our regulations every time the statute changes. It really makes more sense and it makes it more fluid just to say the exemptions are as provided in the statute as the legislature might change them from time to time and go with that. The other big thing, I think, in the regulations, there's a lot in there having to do with elevations, floodplain references, and things like that that surveyors have to deal with when they're surveying the subdivision.
Well, Mills County does not participate in the FEMA floodplain program. And so, just as a practical matter, it's really impossible for surveyors to comply with that because we don't know what the floodplain is. And so there were lots of references to that in the regulations, and those have all been taken out. There was just some technical stuff in there having to do with surveyors' records and references to course and distance and scale of the survey plat, things that Mr. King felt like were needed in order to make the regulations more usable and more understandable with subdividers as well as with our designated plat representative, which is Don King. And so basically, in my opinion anyway, these are technical issues that are being cleaned up to make it more usable and more easily understood with subdividers as well as with plat approval process. I don't feel like really changes here. And I think I told you earlier, part of this, your copy here, so you don't have to go through and read all of this. Mary Ann, the parts that she added are in italics. The parts that are being deleted are underlined. Now, if you decide to approve these amendments tonight, then I'll get her to do a clean copy of this with the italics and the underline text corresponding to be signed if it's true.
Was there anything else that needs to be added to this or changed from this copy like that?
Don King told me Thursday, he was dealing with, some of this Rolling Oaks stuff, I think, and some of the stuff on there was really small, and he was having a hard time being able to see it. And he was rambling about, oh, we need to fix this, it's too small, I don't, the way we've changed it, we've said that the plat needs to be of scale as appropriate in accordance with surveying, state of Texas surveying regulations, which is broad, but it matches what the surveying regulations say. Instead of saying, 300 feet per inch or whatever, it depends on the survey. And I think he and I agree that the way that he got it in here is probably good. Okay. Because you can't just arbitrarily say 300 feet or 100 feet or whatever, because it depends on the plat. Now, if you have a huge plat and your regulations are 1 inch to 100 feet, well, then your plat ends up being so huge that it won't fit. So it depends on the survey. It gives the county discretion with the particular subdivision to say, this is not appropriate because we can't read this. Now take it back and redo it and make it where we can actually read it. Like I said, it's the whole thing, in my opinion, pretty well just technical cleanups. And that's something that might need to be done periodically.
Yeah, I think it's good every year or so, look at it to see what we need to do. Commissioner,
Mr. King and I both recommend that we approve these amendments.
okay. Commissioner's question for Gerald?
I got one on the back line. I mean, they have the government deal that they have to.
I can't hear.
They have the government deal that they have to fill out and test and all. Driveways and entrances.
Page 21.
2.4 driveways and entrances.
Okay, we didn't, I don't know, we didn't talk about it.
Thing there, but it's kind of incomplete unless they go to the deal that they got.
Road access agreement.
Well, that's a different issue. That, yeah, that's on our,
We got a separate road access agreement.
culvert and road access. we're in small switch over separate area. So basically that, in my opinion, what that means is okay. You know, but if you want an entryway and a culvert there, you got to comply with the entire other way. So that is very far from subdivision.
That was thing that I had, played Thursday, and we talked about that, it's on the preliminary plat. But I still, like I said, it's ready on the final plat. The location of the proposed cluster model, is fine.
Well,
Mainly my reason being, if you got something like hoop and horns, that you don't have 60 mailboxes scattered down that road. I mean, I think that should be either, it's in the preliminary plat now.
Yeah.
I don't see why you wouldn't maybe go to the final plat.
well, and if you recall, the economy I did on that, when that over the post office, well, part of it, different bill. But again,
I am, because you can end up having 60 mailboxes scattered down dirt road with 60 culverts that you're trying to maintain the road and not.
your culverts, you're gonna have to comply with
But
road access.
I would think from what we've got so far, like Indian Springs, I would think it'd be a godsend for the postal department just to pull up in one spot.
Well, I don't have a recommendation one way or the other, and so whatever y'all.
I hate to see that either in preliminary or final, I hate to see it.
Yeah, well, that's what we're here, we're working on, Commissioner Warren, we sure look at adding that back on there and, come back and readdress this next commissioner court meeting.
Send it to Bill. I don't know, y'all.
Isn't that, that's up to the commissioner on that situation too?
Well, they got those mailboxes out on 183 when I've seen it, Rolling Oaks, all together.
Yes,
Yeah.
what we do is as they go in, it's not one after another down the road.
Yes, all up in front.
It's as an entrance. You come into the,
Are they regular mailboxes or?
No.
are they-
It's a big
they're,
box.
I don't know what you, when you say regular mailbox,
No, regular mailbox.
Oh, no,
Regular
these,
mailbox.
I think I think this is like a big.
they're maybe 50 or 60 together.
yes,
Big panel with the light overhead and the little thing on top of it,
yes.
but they're all together, so.
As
I
you
would
go,
hate to open that up, I think that's the way we need it. You know, now if somebody buys a parcel of land, and I get a mailbox, that's one thing. And now.
Well, that's what we're here to work on these things, and we sure had it.
I don't know how they get into, they have, a couple of entrances for Rolling Oaks where they go in, only way they can get into the property. It's not down the county road.
So like,
Or the highway, I mean, they come in either on the highway, one location, or on the county road, one location, and that's where all the boxes, that's what.
But that's a gated. You don't know that they're all big gated.
Well, that is, yeah, it's gated.
so like Indian Springs, half of it's gated, the other half, but all accesses are down the county road. So it's both.
And I don't know what we'll end up with on there in Houston Orange, but I can see that being.
Sure.
I don't.
I have more problems with across of the subdivision with private landowners, Dale, than I do with the subdivision. Putting their mailboxes up, that's bought places.
I just don't.
And I don't know.
Streets.
Yeah, I don't know if, I tell them to get in contact with the mail carrier and the post office. I don't think we ought to get into it.
That's, it was stricken out, I was just relating.
Yeah.
Well, we knew.
Well, one possible alternative, maybe that's something that needs to be addressed, look at the, access and culvert regulations again. And maybe put it in there somewhere. And rather than in the subdivision regulations, I don't know that it has a whole lot with the subdivision regulations anyway, so maybe amend our road access and culvert regulations to include provisions about mailboxes. I don't know, that's just a suggestion.
Yeah.
Joe, you and Don King both feel comfortable with what we've done in this? I'll make a motion, we approve the updated Mills County subdivision regulation that was presented to us.
Okay.
You wanna leave that mailbox deal in there?
We'll address it, I think, with the road access.
Okay,
Maybe.
Make the motion for that,
well, we can come back and readdress that at another date, I guess, Commissioner Court, road access agreement. In December, Commissioner Porter.
Yeah, I would just said it might be easier to address it with that access regulation that we have, culvert and access regulation. But it's up to y'all. If you want to add something to this, we can.
I don't think it's adding. All right, consider it pretty much that.
Yeah. More discussion, we got a motion made to approve as is, but we can come back and like County Attorney Hill said, Gerald said, look at doing it through the road access agreement, that's Commissioner Court.
A lot of your, I can see a downfall of that, a lot of your places that are selling, you're still gonna have to have road access, but there's not anybody living.
Yep.
I'd vote for that if it's left in there.
Do what happened?
I'd vote for that if it's left in there.
Okay.
Well,
Go ahead, Robert.
I mean, like, Indian Springs where they put the cluster of mailboxes, those are just for the internal places anyway, ain't none of it for that external. And we have, right?
And there's nobody living down there, there's 7 or 8 10.
Right, yeah, I understand that, but I mean, are there mailboxes up there in the internal part or?
That's part of that, you're not really trying to control them, but at the same time, you can't let them just free fall and do whatever they want.
Okay. Any other discussion, folks? So we got a motion from Commissioner Wright to approve the updated Mills County subdivision regulations that's been presented. Any other discussion or comments? Do I hear a second? I'll second. All right, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor of approving the Mills County updated subdivision, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Aye, we got 2-2. So I guess we'll bring this back.
Motion failed.
Motion fails, and we can discuss it next Commissioner's Court sometime.
Or we just leave that clause in there and then not worry about it. Cause I mean, you don't like, I mean, I'm not gonna, I mean. Blading around 10 horns, blading around mailboxes, I mean, that's quite a pain.
Well, why don't we do this and Gerald, see if this is okay. How about we go back in and change the changes regarding the mailbox that was struck out, put it back in, and then we'll present back to Commissioner Court December the 9th.
You can do that today.
Do it now.
Let's do it right now. Okay,
Put the motion to do.
okay. Commissioner Wright, you want, give her.
Now, you're gonna have to tell me what language to put in there. You're gonna have to write it down.
It's supposed stricken out.
What page are you on?
30, I believe it said.
I'm blaming their line.
32, yeah.
Well, tell me what the report is.
What page you on? 32, page 32.
Yes,
The location,
Is this one right here? So just leave that in?
Where it says, you're talking about the location of proposed cluster mailboxes as required, should be stricken out, just put that back in there, okay?
So. Then I'm not thinking what to do. But if you want to do this, you can have a new motion to approve and accept or do not delete that.
Okay.
Provision.
Okay.
And if there's a second and.
Okay.
With that, then that would work well.
Sound good to you, Commissioner Parker?
That's fine.
Okay.
We discussed that after.
Yeah.
I wasn't at the workshop, so I don't remember that discussion. I was absent from the workshop, Dale.
Okay. So we can start over again. Commissioner Parton, would you like to make a motion on this deal?
I'll make a motion on page 32 in the preliminary plats. And I'll have an added deal that we leave the clause in there about the cluster mailbox, whatever it says.
Page 32.
Leave clause, the location of proposed cluster mailboxes as required in the subdivision ordinances.
Okay.
So
So,
make that motion.
okay, so a motion's been made to approve the Mills County subdivision regulations with the changing where it says on page 32, the location of proposed cluster mailboxes as required. Is that sufficient? Motion's been made by Commissioner Parton.
This is the motion to approve the amendment as you have before you with that one check.
Is that amendment the red change? That's correct, yes. Got it? Miss Sonia, we got it? Okay, do I hear a second?
Yeah, so.
Second's been made by Commissioner Head. End of discussion. All those in favor of approving the Mills County subdivision regulations with the noted change, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. 4-0. All right.
Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do it. I'm gonna get somebody else.
Delegate.
But I will clean this up,
Okay.
actually take the deleted part out, add this one provision. Yeah. Clean it all up and bring it up to the judge's office for, you 4 guys to sign it various times.
Okay.
But it's been approved today, so it'll be effective then. Today. Okay, everybody on the same page?
And we will post it to the website for the new subdivision rules and regulations.
They can sign.
They all been signed by the commission. Okay?
They are effective as of today.
Yes. Okay. Anything else we need to discuss on subdivision rules? That's it. Moving on, commissioners request and reports. Commissioner Wright, take it off, take off.
We had our big dump truck, 10-yard dump truck, we had to replace a radiator, right? We got it replaced and it's working on it this morning to get it back in service, and that radiator rebuilt was $600, so it's pretty expensive. But anyway, we got it done. We've been blading hauling material on County Road 403 and 442. I got the okay from Miss McKee to start our text dot project on the grant on County Road 411. I probably won't start it for a couple more weeks, but I've got the approval to start. We use some of the millings that we received from text dot on some of our low water crossings. On 423, 411, and 429, and they work great. They would beat out instead of trying to go back and pour cement. And I don't know how they're gonna hold up. And once that water comes back across it, but it's packed in, looks pretty good shape. So, we'll see how it's gonna work, but didn't use that much, probably, 2 loads maybe, belly, yeah.
Do we ever get an actual number of how much yardage that we end up with?
7,500. Yeah,
Well, I mean, it was, we had like 2 different numbers for a while.
75 is what they, Carlos, I'll send all that information to y'all.
Mike, is rock crusher working now or what's it?
As far as I know, it's not, it's still down.
That's the last thing that.
Yeah.
They went to pick it up.
Yeah.
Wednesday, and they got over there to load it. And, screen wouldn't work, they went to banging on it, and our employees told them that, hey, you need to fix it instead of bang on it, so they unloaded it, left it back, told them to work on it again, so I don't know. But, we do not have it, if that's what you're asking, as far as, it's not ready.
Yeah.
New road hand started today. I'm gonna bring something up for the court for just, we'll talk about it. If you want to, I'll leave it put it on the agenda, but I want y'all to be aware of it. Instead of talking to each one separate, talk to you out here for everybody is, I met with David Shaw Thursday. David called me and we were all concerned about the trailer, the water trailer that we received, Judge, and found out that it does belong to the county and you signed for it, but we don't have access to it. It's strictly for emergency use, like the fire department or water system goes down, then they'll use it. And David, I told him that we had it at precinct 1 under our precinct barn, but it was locked. We didn't have access to it. And he asked me if he could have an office maybe at the EMS building. So I met with him last Thursday at the EMS building. And we went and looked at it and I gave him a tour of it and they gave us a tour of it.
Good.
And the lady that works for the EMS, Hamilton, said she had no problem whatsoever. It was the county's building. They did what they wanted to with it.
And there's that one room on the south end.
Yes, and what David's suggestion was that maybe we come up with a little money that they could put a little shed out there on that far end where you have access to that trailer anytime you needed it. What I told David, I used to be the commissioner of that facility, but I'm not anymore. Robert is. And he probably need to get with Robert and discuss it or whatever, and we can then put it on the agenda and bring it back to the court. And I made Robert aware of it this morning.
Okay.
Before we started the court, I just wanted to. But anyway, it's he said he probably need the office for training sometimes. And that room that's what that room was built for actually. And they have 2 more office spaces to the other side of the wall back there, and they could use those 2 offices if they needed to. But Sarah Wallace said she didn't have a problem.
Okay.
She was using the office at the present time.
We can put that on the agenda next.
And that's something we need to look at, yes, and discuss. That's, like I'm saying, I guess David might contact you, you can contact him or whatever you want to, Robert, but that's precinct 2 now, it's not precinct 1. Also, I'll probably take some time off Thanksgiving this week. And I've got a couple of projects I'm gonna work on today, and then after that, then I'll probably take off 3 days, the rest of the week, probably for Thanksgiving. And that's all I have.
Okay. Commissioner Head?
We thank Dale for, when I was schooling, and I guess Jason, Mike, did you get involved in that?
I stayed in the meeting while Dale went up here.
Well, thank you for taking care of the paperwork for it. But either way, appreciate the help when we had our little incident with the malfunction, I guess, with the belly dump. While I was at school, we got it put back together, everything, and we CPS put them on that. You know, we was having trouble starting it, and Robbie goes, well, keep tanks full. Well, we filled the tanks up and the thing cranks up just like that, so I guess it's got a seepage somewhere. So either way, we'll track that down, but other than that, we got the CPS up and going, maximum. Worked on the tarp on the CPS, we got it out and started hauling, went back to what the original project was and started hauling some material on 235 and trying to fill in some rough spots.
Okay. Commissioner Parton?
Quite a few projects, been blading on 539. Have got Scott McCoy his crew hauling down there this week. We're gonna work on their tech stop project on 508. and close by the way, next couple of days. Get our government lines in place, let them all down there. Kind of try to kill the birds with one stone because they know it is this Thanksgiving. But everybody taking off between Thanksgiving and Christmas to get their vacation stuff out of the way. It limits what you're gonna get done. So, got quite a few projects going on. Still trying to get a mechanic down here from East Texas to look at our maintainer that's been down since May.
Hard to find out work on that thing, isn't it?
It ain't working thus far. Got one bad deal with it. At this point, I don't feel like we can afford getting cat. So I'm thinking just wait and see what the get out. We need it, we're bad, we got. So, just, gonna try to get some stuff done for now. Christmas break. We have been getting some stuff down, but they just brought it tonight, out of the way coming the new year. Another mile on 549, which that's a long road, it's gonna put us 5 miles down when we get there. And 3 miles all in the road 5 away. We've got about 3 miles all in maybe days.
That's it, okay.
You work on, Dale, are y'all working on your time, or 10-hour days, or y'all working?
Now, we're working days, but we've got involved in this all, whatever they're charging them for that.
Okay.
Okay, is that it? Number 14, County Judge's Report. Last week, Commissioner Ford and I were at a solar meeting at the community center across the street. I don't know, Commissioner Ford had about 75 people there, it lasted nearly 3 hours, but as I told everybody, any news we have come up on solar farms, I will let the court and the public know. And there's no news as of last week on any solar projects. So next Commissioner's Court date will be December the 9th. And the courthouse will be closed Thursday and Friday for Thanksgiving. So everybody have a very wonderful Thanksgiving with all your family and friends. And that's all I've got. Number 15, adjournment.
I'll make a motion, we'll adjourn.
Second. Motion been made, Commissioner Wright, second by Commissioner Head. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned. Everybody have a great week.
You know.
Well, I don't think we have anything.